Hi everyone, myself Kirtika, working as Assistant Professor at Department of Management Studies of K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology, Tiruchendur. In this video, we are going to discuss about recruitment. Recruitment can be considered the principal function of Human Resource Department. It is a process that includes sourcing, screening, and shortlisting. It refers to the process of identifying the staffing need and then filling it. The whole process includes identifying, attracting, interviewing, selecting, and onboarding the right candidates for the organization. Now let us start with the definition of recruitment. Recruitment is the process of identifying and hiring the best qualified candidate from within or outside of an organization for a job vacancy in a most timely and cost-effective manner. So these are the steps which is followed while recruiting. So first is about preparing. Once a job opening is approved internally, the recruiter contacts the hiring manager. This step is about gathering details about open position. During the discussion, the recruiter has to gather information like required skills, roles, responsibilities, and etc. and use this information to write a clear and inclusive job description. Based on this job description, they can write job positioning. Then the next step is sourcing. Once the job description is ready, the next step is to start the sourcing. It refers to identifying and contacting qualified candidates rather than waiting for a candidate to apply for the position. The primary goal is to pull qualified candidates. A recruiter uses a variety of job portals to pull resumes, but it is not essential that for every position sourcing is required. And the next step is screening. The screening of candidate can take place in many ways. Generally, the first step is resume screening. If the resume meets the criteria required for the job opening, the next step is the phone screening, in which the recruiter can cover topics like candidate's availability, current role and responsibilities, current salary, salary expectations, notice period, and etc. If he seems to be the right candidate, an organization can process further with his profile. Then the next step is selecting. This process is about sending assignments, psychometric tests, and scheduling interviews, and also about participating in the interview process. And it's about maintaining a good relationship with the candidate and keeping the candidate updated about the interview feedback. And next step is hiring. This steps includes a final discussion with the candidate about salary, joining date, and etc. Once the joining date is confirmed, the offer letter is released. Then the next step is onboarding. Once the candidate has accepted the offer letter, the process is not over yet. This is where the pre-boarding period starts. This is the time between the joining date and when the offer letter was accepted, and it is very important to be in touch with your candidate during this period and to keep them engaged. So these are the steps which are followed in process of recruitment. Next we shall discuss about the sources of recruitment. There are usually two kinds of source of recruitment: internal sources and external sources. Internal sources are the sources through which the recruitment is done with the help of the sources which are available inside the organization, whereas in external, the recruitment process will be carried out with the help of sources which are available outside the organization. At first, let us discuss about internal source of recruitment. First is transfer. The employees are transferred from one department to another department according to their efficiency and also according to their experience. Next is promotions. The employees are promoted from one department to another with more benefits and greater responsibility based on efficiency and experience. Next is upgrading and demotion of present employees according to their performance. And next is retired and retrenched employees may also be recruited once again in case of shortage of qualified personnel or an increase of load work. The next is the dependents and relatives of deceased employees and disabled employees. They are also done by many companies so that the members of family do not become dependent on the mercy of others. Next, we shall discuss about external source of recruitment. First is press advertisement. Advertisement of vacancy in newspapers and journals are widely used as source of recruitment. Next is educational institutes. Various management institutes like engineering colleges, medical colleges, and etc. are a good source of recruiting of well qualified executives, engineers, and also medical staffs. Next is placement agencies. Several private consultancy firms perform recruitment functions on behalf of client companies by charging a fee. These agencies are particularly suitable for recruitment of executives and specialists. Next is employment exchanges. Government establishes public employment exchange throughout the country. These exchanges provide job information to job seekers and help employers in identifying suitable candidates. Next is labor contractors. Manual workers can be recruited through contractors who maintain close contact with the sources of such workers. Next is unsolicited applicants. Many job seekers visit the office of well-known companies on their own. Such callers are constant nuisance to the daily work routine of the enterprise, but can help in creating a talent pool or database of portable candidates for the organization. Next is employee referrals or recommendations. Many organizations have structured system where the current employees of an organization can refer their friends and relatives for some position in that organization. Next is recruitment at factory gate. Unskilled workers may be recruited at factory gate. These may be employed whenever a permanent worker is absent. More efficient among these may be recruited to fill permanent vacancies. Next, we shall discuss about factors affecting recruitment. First is internal factors. So, in internal factors, the first thing we are going to discuss is about recruitment policy. The recruitment policy of an organization specifies the objectives of recruitment and provides a framework for implementation of recruitment program. It may involve organization system to be developed for implementing recruitment programs and procedures by filling up vacancies with best qualified people. Next is the factors which affect the recruitment policy are organizational objectives, personnel policies, government policies, and also preferred source of recruitment. Then the next factor is human resource planning. Effective human resource planning helps in determining the gaps present in existing manpower of an organization. It also helps in determining the number of employees to be recruited and what qualification they must possess. Then next is size of firm. The size of firm is an important factor in recruitment process. If the organization is planning to increase its operation and expand its business, it will think of hiring more personnel which will handle its operation. Next is cost. Recruitment incur cost to the employer. Therefore, organizations try to employ that source of recruitment which will bear a low cost of recruitment to the organization. Next is growth and expansion. Next is growth and expansion. Organization will employ or think of employing more personnel if it's expanding its operations. Next, we shall discuss about external factors affecting recruitment. First is supply and demand. The availability of manpower both within and outside the organization is an important determinant in recruitment process. Next is labor market. Employment conditions in the community where the organization is located will influence the recruiting efforts of an organization. If there is a surplus of manpower at the time of recruitment, even informal attempts at the time of recruiting like notice boards or display of requisition or announcement in the meeting etc. will attract more than enough applicants. Next is image or goodwill. Image of employer can work as a potential constraint for recruitment. Next is political, social and legal environment. Various government regulations prohibiting discrimination in hiring and employment have direct impact on recruitment practices. Next is unemployment rate. One of the factors that influencing the availability of applicants is the growth of economy. When the company is not creating new jobs, there is often oversupply of qualified labor, which in turn leads to unemployment. Next is competitors. The recruitment policies of the competitors also affect recruitment function of an organizations. The next we shall discuss about the difference between recruitment and selection. Recruitment is the process of searching the candidate for employment and stimulating them to apply for a job in an organization, whereas selection involves a series of steps by which the candidate are screened for choosing the most suitable persons for vacant post. Next is recruitment. Basic purpose is to create a talent pool of candidates to enable the selection of best candidate for an organization, whereas the basic purpose of selection is to choose the right candidate to fill the various positions in an organization. Next is recruitment is a positive process, which is it encourages more and more employees to apply, whereas selection is a negative process as it involves rejection of unsuitable candidates. Next, there is no contract of recruitment established while recruiting, whereas selection results in contract of service between employer and the selected employee. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.